Commonly used words in Potawatomi. Anet, anet, some, anet. Jockshagago, jockshagago, everything, jockshagago. Chogago, chogago, nothing. Sometimes also used for zero. Chogago. Non-godigan, non-godigan, sometimes. Non-godigan. Wegwinduk, whatever. Wegwinduk. Cho, cho, no, cho. Chomshe, chomshe, not yet. Chomshe. Chowika, chowika, never. Chowika. Chowie, chowie, no one. Chowie. Wie, wie, someone. Wie. Mina, mina, and or again. Mina. Anake, anake, or anake. Nesop, nesop, same. Nesop. Bagagi, bagagi, a little bit. Bagagi. Gaga, soon. Gaga. Also gaga in some communities. But for our thing, we'll be using gaga. Gaga. Nestya, nestya, but nestya. Pane, pane, always pane. Gishpan, gishpan, if, gishpan. Nasana, be careful. Nasana, nasana. Watea, watea, wow. Mainly a man's form, but today a lot of folks will use it irregardless of if they're man or woman. Watea. Mamkadgamuk, mamkadgamuk, wow. Specifically a woman's form. Mamkadgamuk. Scana, scana, geez, scana. Se, se, nasty. So something that you're pointing with, something like maybe on the ground or something like that, something that's nasty. Se. Megwa, megwa, more, megwa. Nukmuk, nukmuk, here, there, everywhere. Nukmuk. Neop, neop, back. Neop, not a body part, but like back in a direction. Neop. Miigwech, miigwech, thank you. Miigwech. Iguian, iguian, thank you. A southern word, more heartfelt. Iguian. Wewene, sincerely or thank you in some communities. Wewene, wewene. Gunabitch, perhaps or maybe. Gunabitch, gunabitch. And in some communities you'll even hear that G kind of drop off and it'll just be nibitch, nibitch. And I know if that sounds too much like a bad word in English, you could also use kwetan, kwetan, perhaps, maybe, kwetan. Onit gaggle, part of something. Onit gaggle. Nin ashtuk, my turn. Nin ashtuk. Gin ashtuk, your turn. Gin ashtuk. Ayashtuk, take turns. Ayashtuk. Beshoch, close. Beshoch. Waseyawan, it is far away. You can also just use wase, waseyawan. Beduk, inside. Beduk. Zagich, outside. Zagich. Eba, over there. Eba. Eji, over there. Eji. Ji, there. Ji. Shoda, here. Shoda. Ngom, ngom, today, ngom. So that N is said, but it's kind of quiet. Wabuk, wabuk, tomorrow, wabuk. Nago, nago, yesterday, nago. And in some communities they'll say winago. Pakonyak, pakonyak, evening, pakonyak. Wabin, wabin, morning, wabin. Odajopi, odajopi, right now, odajopi. And in some communities you also hear just odopi, odopi. Nauque, nauque, noon, nauque. Gijnauque, gijnauque, afternoon, gijnauque. When you've added that gish to it, that gish means after, and it can be added to a lot of different words to indicate that. Gijnauque. Bama, bama, later or wait, bama. Usually when you're using it like later a lot, like later on, we'll say like bama pi or bama mina or bama mina guabman. But it can also just mean kind of like wait, but like not telling somebody to wait, but just kind of like in a little bit I'll do something, kind of that kind of wait. Bama. Iai, iai, that's it. That's the one. Iai. Ilkshe ninan, an agreement with what's being said. Ilkshe ninan, and that IW makes kind of an EO sound, so it's like EO. Ilkshe ninan. Wiai, wiai, that's it, that's the one. Wiai, and that's just kind of a variation to iai. Konage, konage, yes, konage. Ehe, ehe, yes, ehe. Gekpi, gekpi, finally, gekpi. Ilkshiyedak, ilkshiyedak, I suppose that is so. Ilkshiyedak. Gawa, gawa, kind of or barely. Gawa. And some people will write it with more of a G. Gawa, gawa. Zinagit, zinagit. It's difficult. Zinagit. And sometimes in the South, like in Kansas, you won't hear that Z hardly at all. It'll be like nagit, nagit. Bakan, bakan, different. Bakan. Bakan also means a nut in Potawatomi, so it has two meanings, but bakan also means different. Ngoji, ngoji, somewhere, ngoji. So you say that in, but not as loud as that G. Ngoji. Il, il, end or amen. People will use that as like an ending to a story. Il. Or sometimes when they're praying, they'll just end with like il. And again, it's like an I, which is that EE sound, and more of an O when that W falls. So it's like EO, EO. And you say it fast, it almost sounds like an eel in the ocean. Il, il. Iljapi, iljapi. Then, iljapi, ilja, ilja, and then ilja. That's one you hear a lot of times in stories, that ilja and iljapi. Ahow, okay. Ahow, ahow. Benowi, benowi, long ago. Benowi. Gnowish, gnowish, long ago. Gnowish. Kietnam, kietnam, really or intensely. Kietnam. Kwansage, kwansage, really or intensely. Another way to say it. Kwansage. Jash, jash. And there's sometimes you'll see an M written on the front of that. There is kind of an M there, but you really don't hear it very loud. So jash, jash. Monarch, monarch, a lot of something animate. Monarch. So like monarch, nekto, shayak, a lot of horses. Moneton, moneton, a lot of something inanimate. Moneton. Shonya, shonya, money. Shonya. Be, be, means full. It's an expression somebody might say like after they get done eating, they just say be, be. Ilkshe ejewebuk, ilkshe ejewebuk. That's just the way it is. Ilkshe ejewebuk. This is a favorite of mine. Ilkshe ejewebuk. Ndowach, ndowach, might as well. Ndowach. Noche, noche, more. This one's used a lot more up north, where in the south you'll hear megwa, more for more. Noche. Nangot oyago, nangot oyago. Each and every one of us. Nangot oyago. Nuko, used to. Nuko, nuko. Nukshe, nukshe. Look, nukshe. And this is just to kind of like draw somebody's attention to something. Like, look over there, nukshe. Oh, look at that. Nukshe. Neshna, neshna. Joking or kidding around. Neshna. Neshpa, neshpa. Accidentally. Neshpa. Netum, netum. First. Netum. Ngodak, ngodak. Once. Ngodak. If you think about it, ngot is one, so ngodak, once. Ngoji mana, ngoji mana, somewhere around. Ngoji mana. Nigebshe, nigebshe, of course, shows agreement. Nigebshe. Ninugne, ninugne, another way of showing agreement. Ninugne. Obduk, obduk, have to, and this is used with positive statements. Obduk. Momkach, momkach, have to, that's used with negative statements. Momkach, momkach. Getchwa, getchwa, like, getchwa. So this isn't like I like ice cream. This is like, you know, the star looks like a horse, or the cloud looks like a horse, or something like that. Getchwa, getchwa. It's really good for using getchwa or bikwa when you can't think of a word for something, like, you know, immersion is getchwa b'mejuan. It's like water flowing by. Getchwa. Bikwa, bikwa, like. Again, it's similar to getchwa. Bikwa or getchwa, like. Mochma, mochma. Please or irregardless. Mochma. Gija, gija, please. Gija, used up north. I'll be honest, most people don't use please in Potawatomi. Our language is very direct. In English, we say please with almost everything we do. Please pass me this. Please do this. Please open the door. Please help me out. It's really not necessary in Potawatomi. We're just very direct. So it's like, open the door. Help me. You know, pass the salt. It's meant in a polite way, so you don't have to add these kind of little niceties and things. And in reality, they're just kind of words that have been used to equate some of these concepts for people, but they really don't get used by speakers very often. Mochma, really more like irregardless. Mochma. And then gija, I don't really ever hardly hear that used. Gija. Moshuk, moshuk, mostly. Moshuk. Mtino, mtino, only. Mtino. That M is there, but it's not as loud as the T. Mtino. Kind of say it. Mtino. Metsana. Metsana. I don't know. Metsana. Now, metsana itself is like a verb to miss someone also. So, so it doesn't mean that N on the front's not the I part. Some speakers will even not use that N. They'll just say metsana. Nemetsana. Or metsana. Nemetsana. Nomuk. Nomuk, a little while. Nomuk. Nomye, nomye, a while ago. Nomye. Squatch. Squatch, last. Squatch. Bawamshe. Bawamshe, before. Bawamshe. Ningaja, me also. Ningaja. That gay part just means also. So me also. Ningaja. Gingaja, you also. Gingaja. Gingaja. Chowi. Chowi. No. Chowi. So cho is no, and then chowi is like, if maybe they're not getting the point, chowi gives a little more emphasis. And then chowika, never. Egach or egachin, take it easy. Kind of be less intense. Egach, egachin. Debnak, any old way. Debnak. Ginja, and you. Ginja, ginja. This is good for when somebody asks you a question and maybe you can't remember how to ask that same question back. Like if they said, Nija Ejnikash, and what is your name? And you say, you know, Justin Nadezhnikas, but you can't remember how to say, what's your name? You could say, Ginja, and you. Chomamda, can't. Chomamda. Mijigaggle, bad thing, something bad. Mijigaggle. Mamajuk, a sure thing. Mamajuk. Megwe, amongst. Megwe, so like amongst the woods, in the woods. Megwe. Gete, truly or really or old. Gete. Some people also use wette. And then just some numbers here to kind of familiarize yourself with. Goat, 1, goat. Niche, 2, niche. Shwe, that N you don't really hear it. Shwe, 3, shwe. Niao, 4. Nianen, 5, nianen. Gotwatso, 6, gotwatso. Noak, 7, noak. Schwatzo, 8, schwatzo. Shock, 9, shock. Medazzo, 10, medazzo. Eel. So that's it for commonly used words in Potawatomi. Those are some good ones that you'll really want to remember that get used a lot in general conversation. It'd be good to really kind of drill yourself on those and really go over those and kind of get those down, because they can be used in so many different contexts within a sentence. Aha, bamavino.